Hello, welcome to Church Helpers Tabs Online Contacts Management, deleting household information, maintaining an accurate and current mailing list, and keeping costs down. Hello, welcome to Church Helpers Tabs Online. Today we're going to go through and work with the Contacts module, and we're going to show you how you can go through and maintain a more accurate mailing list, and to also remove households from your mailing list and all the associated records, family members, ministries, groups, visitations of those individuals who are no longer attending your church but may still be on your mailing list, and you want to go through and remove them so that you can have a clean, more accurate mailing list. This also will serve as a dual purpose where it will help keep down your monthly service fees, since the service fees are based on how many households you have on your system. Let's click on the sign on button. Now we'll come up with our main menu, and let's go into contacts. And notice here that it comes up and shows us that we have the first 50 households that are listed here. Let's go ahead and click on the show all, and it will go through the system and actually show that we have 121 households. The households that are on our mailing list could be from households that visited a year ago, 2 years ago, gave contributions 1 year, 2 years ago. Depending on how you want to maintain your mailing list would depend on how long you want to keep these records on your system. One of the things that we can do to go through and see what the condition of our mailing list is, we can click on the search button, and we can click on the updated button, and we can go through and say, give me everybody, for example, who's older than 1 year. What that means by older is who has been on our mailing list and has had no activity within the past year. Now, what we mean by older than 1 year is, on their updated field, is has these individuals or this household given any contributions in the last year? Has any attendance been posted if you're tracking attendance for the different various groups on your mailing list? So let's go ahead and just do it no matter what their profile is. We don't care if they're a visitor, a member, an out-of-towner, a regular attender, it doesn't really matter. Right now we're going to go through and say anybody whose last update field date is less than or equal to January 11th, 2011. We could also change that to 01 if we wanted to, and do a continue. It says that out of the 120 households I have on my system, there's 8 households that have not had any activity, and that also includes the 12 family members that are related to those 8 households. Now, if that's as far as my system goes back, and I want to go back just a year, then I can go through and use those records and remove those records. But let's say I want to go through and do a search. Give me an updated date who's older than 9 months. This means they haven't posted contributions, they haven't attended any ministries. Click on Finish and do a Continue. This will show you that we have 10 households out of 121 whose activity date is older than 9 months. That means that they either have not given any contributions, or they have not had any attendance posted to them if you take attendance for your church, saying that these people have been active and involved in the church. So at this point in time, with these 10 households that are listed here, we can just go ahead and actually click the delete button, and it will open up the delete module, which allows us to go through and see a variety of information regarding these individual households. Let me first just go across the top and explain the different menu options. Up here we have prior deletions. These are prior records that have been deleted that are still in your system. They're deleted, but they have not been purged and removed from your system completely. During a time that a record is in its prior deletion mode, you can go through and actually highlight those individuals and recall them if you choose to, and have them become again part of your contacts or your group's mailing list. The delete option is to where whenever you have individuals highlighted, you can delete them. The contacts takes you back to the contacts mailing list area. The home takes you back to the main menu, and the login or the logout actually takes you out of the system. In here, this is the list of the number of households that have been found and listed. This no deleted is a message saying that there are no prior deletions. This button here says show in last name order. So if I click on that, it will show the same 10 households in last name order, or I can show it in their order of status and their profile, and then by last name. The other option is if I go ahead and click on the View Households, what it will do is it will go through and show the primary information for each individual record that's been selected. So as I scroll through here, this will show you the different family members that are involved in this for each individual household. So I can click through here, and this just helps me have a better overview analysis of the households that are going to be deleted and the data that's going to be removed as well. So I can go through and unclick that, and now depending on how I want to work with my households, there can be individuals who are considered duplicate records, meaning they're the same household but one's under one name and it's just in the system as a duplicate. What we can do is when we hit the delete button, mark selected records as deleted for purging, duplicate households marked for delete or purging. Those are the two primary areas that are available when you click the delete option. There's another option that's the undelete, purge households, purge associated records only, and purge duplicate household record. Those are referring to the fact that this is the household information here, and these are the associated records, their family members, the group activity, donations giving, and the visitor care follow-up, and any associated records related to those. But let's go ahead and cancel this, because what we can do here is, in order to go through and delete these, we can go through and click and drag all 10 records and delete all 10 of them from our system simultaneously. Now what this delete function is doing is we're going to mark selected records as deleted for purging. What this does is it actually puts these individual households into a recycle bin area, which means that they're not completely removed from your mailing list yet, but it gives you an option if you choose to, recall them and undelete them and make them a part of your mailing list again. But what we're going to do is we're going to highlight these individuals. We're going to mark the selected records as being deleted, and you'll notice that it came up with the continue option. At that point, if I hit the continue, it will go through and flag these 10 individuals. You notice that the background did change to a pinkish color. The header did change from 10 household records marked as deleted. And you notice that the menu option up here changed to households, which takes you back to list all the households that you have in your listing, which in this case, since we selected all 10, there would not be any in that listing anymore. But at this point, we could, for example, go ahead and select these and purge them, which means completely remove them from our household listing and remove any associated data related to the individual households. The other option is, let's say we made a mistake and we didn't want to delete Alan, Sam, and Judy. We could actually go in and undelete them, select here, and actually continue, and it would actually recall them and now show us that we have 9 individuals who are marked as deleted. And as we go back and click on our households, it shows that the one person that's listed here will be still on our mailing list. This does mean that now that we click on prior deletions, these 9 individuals at this point in stage, they're flagged for being deleted and purged from the system. These 9 individuals will no longer show up on your mailing list, any contributions given for them, any group activity, any family members, or any visitor information. They are basically at this point hidden from the system, although they are still in this temporary holding pattern as far as being on your system, flagged to be removed, but not quite yet removed. If we choose to go through and purge them, we can go through and highlight and drag them, or we could just control click and say, you know what, these ones I still want to get rid of, but I want to keep Tom and Tony and these unselected ones on the system for a period longer. It really depends on you and what you want to do and how you want to work with your households. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and do a purge, and I'm going to purge the household records completely. The other option is purge associated records. That means keep the household record, but purge the family, the groups, giving, and the family care or visitor follow-up care. It really depends. There's maybe reasons you may need to do that. It really depends on your situation and your environment. But what we're going to do is we're going to purge these highlighted records. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals who are actually going to be purged from the system and completely remove their household information, and their associated records will be completely removed and cannot be recovered once you click the continue. Let's go ahead and click continue. It will go through and purge those individuals. Now there's the 4 individuals that I did not purge from the system. I go back into my household area. There's the 1 individual that I had that I decided I did not want to delete, but I recalled him or undeleted him and made him still maintaining on my mailing list. At this point in time, that concludes the overall of the deleting of households. Now, why this is important information for you to work with is if you want to maintain a really streamlined, accurate mailing list, while at the same time keeping your monthly service fees down, it is recommended that you decide on your church policy, that you go through and decide what is considered an inactive household or individuals within your organization or church. Now also know that even though you post attendance for a family member, a child, but the mom and dad or parents don't come, that updated date still gets updated to the date that a child was involved, or if a child posted contributions, that would still reflect that household as being active, and they wouldn't show up as being inactive for the past 9 months. What I'm going to do now is we'll click on our contacts and go back to our mailing list area, and now you'll see we went from 120 down to 112. Those 4 individuals that you have in our prior deletions will need to be removed from your system and completely purged from your mailing list. After a period of 30 days, those records that are in your system as being flagged as being deleted but have not been purged from your system could be automatically removed from your mailing list, and you will not be able to recover them if they are. That gives you a kind of an overview of how you want to go through and maintain an accurate mailing list, yet at the same time keeping your number of households to the minimum of what you consider as a church or organization policy of those individuals that are involved in the church. Let's go ahead and click on the log out button. We're completed that process and we're finished with this. If you have any questions, please call us at Church Helper and we'd be more than happy to help you. God bless. Bye-bye.